Hello, good evening, and welcome to Joy News Prime. We are coming to you live from our studios here at Koko-Mleme in Accra. We are live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV 125, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. My name is Carlos Kaloni.
And I'm Noella Kareniali. Tonight, Office of the Special Prosecutor declares former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta wanted again over non-compliance.
I dispatched a request for extradition processes to be instituted for the provisional apprehension in any jurisdiction in which Mr. Ofori-Atta may be located or found, and his extradition to the Republic of Ghana.
An NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Entwe-Boisiaku, also known as Chairman Wontumi, remains behind bars at EOCO hours after his lawyers withdrew a court application seeking to ease his bail conditions.
And Health Ministry asks police and national security for protection for nurses willing to work as the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association begins their nationwide strike to demand better service conditions. You're welcome back. Now, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has declared former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta wanted and a fugitive of justice for failing to appear before the office as directed. Now, the Special Prosecutor, Kisi Ijabing, has expressed frustration with Ofori-Atta's repeated delays and non-compliance with ongoing investigations. Now, the OSP says it will proceed to prefer criminal charges against him, and Kisi Ijabing addressed a news conference a while ago on the matter.
Therefore, the OSP views Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyer's letter dated 28 May 2025 as an expression of utter bad faith on the part of Mr. Ofori-Atta, and it confirms our long-held, well-considered opinion and conclusion that Mr. Ofori-Atta has no intention of voluntarily returning to the jurisdiction and to attend the OSP. Further, this office is unaware of his purported information to the court, whether orally or by filed processes, of the alleged change in his circumstances. Today is Monday, 2 June 2025. It is more than 3 hours past the scheduled time of Mr. Ofori-Atta's attendance at the OSP, and Mr. Ofori-Atta failed to attend the OSP today. Mr. Ofori-Atta's conduct is totally unacceptable and a baleful spite at law enforcement and criminal investigations. It ends here. It ends today. We will no longer accommodate him. Consequently, the OSP redeclares that Mr. Ofori-Atta is a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. His name is hereby re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons. The OSP will take all necessary legal steps to secure Mr. Ofori-Atta's return to the jurisdiction and to answer to the criminal inquiries against him. In pursuance of this, about 30 minutes before this briefing, I triggered processes for the issuance of an Interpol Red Notice for the location and provisional arrest of Mr. Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta in whichever jurisdiction pending extradition or his surrender. Around the same time, I dispatched a request for extradition processes to be instituted for the provisional apprehension in any jurisdiction in which Mr. Ofori-Atta may be located or found, and his extradition to the Republic of Ghana. The OSP will prefer criminal charges in the courts against Mr. Ofori-Atta in due course, whether in absentia or otherwise. The principle upon which we proceed is that no person, regardless of title, regardless of status, regardless of medical condition, is beyond the reach of inquiry by the OSP.
Now, this development comes after Mr. Ofori-Atta requested a virtual session citing medical reasons. Now, the OSP's declaration reinstates Mr. Ofori-Atta on the list of wanted persons and opens the door for further international enforcement actions, including a possible Interpol Red Notice.
The letter from Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyers, dated 18 February 2025, clearly indicated that the possible surgical intervention to be performed on him was to occur on 20 and 21 March 2025, upon which reckoning the OSP carefully considered the recovery period and indulgently pushed Mr. Ofori-Atta's attendance at the OSP to 2 June 2025. Therefore, Mr. Ofori-Atta had a duty to promptly inform the OSP of any fundamental change in his medical circumstances on 21 March 2025, when the advertised surgical intervention was not performed, to enable the OSP reschedule a new date of his attendance at the OSP to accommodate any such material changes in his medical condition and treatment itinerary. Mr. Ofori-Atta has known, at least since 21 March 2025, that no surgical procedure was to be performed on him in March. Yet, he purposely sat by indolently and chose not to inform the OSP of such fundamental changes in his circumstances. Instead, about 67 days after learning of the alleged changed circumstances around 21 March 2025, Mr. Ofori-Atta elected to spring a surprise on the OSP on 28 May 2025, just 6 days before his scheduled attendance at the OSP, by offering to undergo a video recorded interview and a viewing of his biopsy report.
Now, let's still stay on this developing story because a member of Ken Ofori-Atta's legal team, Frank Davis, has swiftly reacted to the OSP's announcement, describing the declaration as rushed and unnecessary. He spoke to Faustina Safo on Joy FM's Top Story. But before that, we've got some graphics that shows the OSP's page. Right now, you can see it declares Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister, wanted, and it also states clearly the reasons for his, wanted notice. And it says this suspect is wanted to answer charges in respect of several cases, including strategic mobilization, GRA contract, termination of ECG BXC contract, National Cathedral payment, ambulance procurement contract, and tax refund account utilization. Now, anyone with information on the whereabouts of this individual should alert the office by calling or sending a WhatsApp message to the numbers displayed there. Let's now take that response from Frank Davis. But before we bring you that, we've got more information from the Special Prosecutor's webpage. Now it says, under investigation by the OSP for 5 key reasons. Where basically, it's stating the reasons why Ken Ofori-Atta has been declared wanted. It says Petroleum and Minerals Revenue Assurance, contract between Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and GRA, electricity contract termination, cancellation of ECG's agreement with Beijing, BXC, also National Cathedral, procurement and payment processes, also ambulance deal, Ministry of Health's contract for 307 ambulances, also GRA tax P fund, handling and disbursement of of tax fund account. It continues to say that under the key timeline, it says January 2025, OSP names him a suspect, summons him for 10th February. So basically, this is telling us from when he was invited to appear before the special prosecutor. But now let's go take a listen to Frank Davis, who is lawyer for Ken Ofori-Atta.
Well, he has declared him a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. I've listened to all that he said. He's triggered processes to ensure his forced return into the country. He has also caused a red notice alert on him. He has or is in the process of triggering extradition or commencing extradition proceedings for him to ensure a return of Kenneth Ofori-Atta into the jurisdiction. Well, that is what he has opted to do, so he should start and carry it out. But I would just say this to the Office of the Special Prosecutor, that he should stick to his core duties as a Special Prosecutor and as a trained lawyer. I don't know when he became a medical practitioner to be giving interpretations to biopsy tests and all that he said. He's a legal practitioner. He should stick to his core duties and stop getting himself in areas where he has very little knowledge.
But as his lawyers, I'm sure you must be concerned. As his lawyers, you must be concerned about this. Some of the key concerns he raised was that you failed to present any medical report which suggests that Ken Ofori-Atta is at travel risk. Is that the case from where you sit?
He failed to show or give any medical report that he's a travel risk. What medical report was he looking for, except the one that was sent to him? But if he's been kind enough, I didn't think he was going to disclose this. But if he's gone ahead to say that Ofori-Atta has been diagnosed, that he has a cancer ailment, he does not appreciate that. He does not appreciate that. And he thinks that he poses the question, do you know the number of people working in this country with cancer? Does he know what they are going through? You see, the special prosecutor should be very careful. You see, when you are put into a public office, it does not give you the liberty to just be saying things off your head and saying anything that you like.
Now, early today, the Special Prosecutor Kisi Ejebin revealed alarming corruption practices within the Ghana Education Service, including the payment of salaries to non-existent teachers, issuance of fake appointment letters, and fraudulent claims on educational facilities. Mr. Ejebin said the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, is currently investigating the GES and other sectors over what he described as, quote, unbelievable and evolving forms of corruption that directly undermine public education and healthcare delivery.
In your sector, we are finding officers claiming monies and facilities for non-existent schools. In your sector, we are finding that people are carrying around laptops, and this is to caution. They may do so to you very soon. I'm sorry I'm saying this in public without first having told you. With the Director General's signature on their laptops, giving out appointment letters on their laptops wherever they go, and purporting to be appointing teachers and pocketing the proceeds thereof. In your sector, that's because we've done more work in your sector than his sector. In your sector, we are finding that head teachers are validating non-existent persons for payment of salaries. And so you would recall that was 2 weeks ago in the High Court in Tamale, 6 persons were convicted on their own plea in a plea bargain arrangement with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And we recovered 106,000 cedis for the state. Now, don't dwell on the amount. Dwell on the principle, which is that we are being overwhelmed on the ground. When I say we, I don't mean the OSP, I mean the nation. We are being overwhelmed on the ground in respect of the activities of corrupt actors.
Meanwhile, the Special Prosecutor has called for a radical rethinking of Ghana's approach to combating corruption, urging policymakers, institutions, and civil society to anchor anti-corruption efforts in the lived experiences and practical realities of Ghanaian society.
Corruption is stifling us. We cannot enhance access to education and healthcare for women based on the way we are fighting corruption now. The theories are not bearing out what we are encountering on the ground. The theories do not match the practice. Corrupt actors are becoming very ingenious. If you preface it with this, we can only do this in respect of our assigned tasks if we reimagine the way we are fighting corruption. If we reconceptualize the fight against corruption and ground it in a functionally specific way, and not based on theoretical constructs. Functionally specific way, I mean, in our context now. How do we fight corruption and address the problem in such a way that education of the girl, healthcare to the females would be well founded?
Away from the OSP, NPP's Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Ntwi-Boisiako, also known as Chairman Wontumi, remains in EOCO's grave hours after his lawyers withdrew a court application seeking to ease bail conditions deemed unreasonable and punitive by the party. The condition, 50 million Ghana cedi bail bond with 2 justified sureties, have sparked controversy. Chairman Wontumi faces allegations of fraud, money laundering and financial loss to the state, as well as an international organized crime probe. With lawyers abandoning the bail review application, his detention continues, fueling tension within the NPP. But the case filed to review the bail conditions was blamed by some of his lawyers for his continuous detention. Let's take you to the EOCO headquarters, where my colleague Michael Ashale Papani is standing by with more on this. Papa, what is the atmosphere at the EOCO head office, and have you seen any of the lawyers or officials of the NPP around? Well, we're still trying to reconnect to my colleague Michael Papani, who has been at the EOCO head office since morning, following up on this development. We understand that Chairman Wontumi is still behind bars. As to why, we want to find out from my colleague who has been following up on this particular story. Earlier, his lawyer told us they had secured all the sureties that would have made him step out of the, the custody of the EOCO. But let me go back to the EOCO office to speak to Papani. Papani, what is the atmosphere at EOCO as we speak?
Well, Carlos, just a bit of the answer from what I was saying earlier about your last question about the lawyers. At 11:40 when we got here, we saw lawyer Andy Appiah-Kubi, who is representing Chairman Wontumi, and also the gentleman, we understand, guaranteed the bail conditions and the sureties. Brian Champon was standing just right where I was standing, behind the barricades. Since that time when
We seem to be having some technical challenges connecting to my colleague, Papani Ashale. He is right at the EOCO head office here in Accra. Well, with the NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman still in custody and yet to be released, it appears the battle for the New Patriotic Party's 2028 flag bearership is already playing out, not at rallies or policy reforms, but in the chaotic aftermath of Chairman Wontumi's arrest. What began as a legal tussle over stringent bail conditions quickly transformed into a political turf war as 3 presidential hopefuls, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Kennedy Ejapon, and Dr. Brian Champon, each seizing the moment to assert influence and position themselves as the party's next leader. My colleague Kweku Asante of our political desk report.
The NPP flag bearership race is still many months away, but the party is already ablaze, not with ideas, at least not yet, but ambition, drama, and political muzzle flexing. The arrest of the party's controversial Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Ntwi-Boisiako, aka Chairman Wontumi, turned the halls of EOCO and National Intelligence Bureau into a political battleground. And from the smoke, 3 men are emerging, each hungry to wear the NPP crown in 2028. When EOCO threw down the gauntlet with a staggering bail condition of 50 million cedis with 2 sureties to be justified, it now became more than just a struggle to meet the hefty bail conditions. It became an opportunity for internal political grandstanding by NPP's 3 frontrunners for the flag bearership context. Chairman Wontumi's trouble became a test for who has the most influence and who can milk the political capital to boost his chances with the party's base in the Ashanti region, where Wontumi is chairman. Enter Kennedy, Japan, the ever-fiery, no-nonsense former MP known for his brash confidence. He was the first to show up with a promise to free Wontumi, but promises aren't paperwork, and his attempt to produce sureties failed spectacularly.
And this is Honorable Kennedy in Japan.
Oh, he also came forward.
Yes, he came forward. He brought some documents. And these documents, upon verification, realized that they were either leases or assignments that had not been registered. So they lacked title. So we couldn't use such documents. And I told him.
The first shot was fired. The first flag bearer hopeful had failed. Wontumi remained locked up. Then came the former vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, thought of generally as more polished, strategic, and a presumed heir to the NPP's throne. After all, he was the party's flag bearer in the last election. He took to his Facebook page to announce that he had been in constant touch with Wuntumi's lawyers and had called on EOCO to respect Wuntumi's rights. His aide, Akbar Yusuf Rohula, was more bullish. He rushed to Facebook, declaring the mission accomplished, security secured, and freedom assured. But then, delete, the post vanished, and so did hopes of a Bawumia rescue. Undeterred, Bawumia showed up himself at the NIB headquarters, cameras trailing, hoping for a grand political moment. Instead, he was greeted with chaos.
Office, you see, there's a scuffle between the police officers and the party supporters now. The police officers are trying to prevent the party supporters from access into the NIB.
And denied even the chance to see Wontumi.
To see him and see how he was doing. We've made those arrangements. Unfortunately, we are here, but the NIB and EOCO feel that the crowd is such that they are not able to bring him here at the moment, and they will have to make proper arrangements.
His efforts were valiant, but the optics were painful. The man many called the natural successor couldn't pull enough strings to free one of his most vocal loyalists. And then came the dark horse, former Agric Minister and current MP for Abetifi, Dr. Brian Achampong. Not one for flashy shows or social media stunts. Brian had formed an exploratory committee on his bid for 2028. Now he perhaps saw this moment, not to speak, but to act. At this point, Wontumi had one surety. The second had become elusive. And then, in a power move, wrapped in silence, Brian appeared to have delivered.
We have been able to provide the sureties. That one I can assure you. And I'm very grateful to Honorable Brian Achampong, who has supported me to file the documents. He has brought his documents to which goes over and above the value of money that is required.
Suddenly, the second surety was secured. The gates of EOCO looked ready to swing open. Brian hailed as a savior, the man who gets things done. No noise, just results.
Okay, so we are going to go through the formalities. Everything should be fine.
And when you talk about formalities, what exactly is left with?
I mean, we just finished the inspection of the property, so we just have to come, they check the values, and then we're good to go.
But it has to be said that Wuntumi's lawyer, Pia Kubi, is not a neutral broker in this matter. He was first to publicly announce that Brian Achampong will run for president. It now appeared that Wuntumi's freedom was assured, but then a political plot twist. GRNMMA, the NPP's own Director of Legal Affairs, filed a last-minute motion at the High Court seeking to revise the bail conditions. The move complicated Wuntumi's release, leaving him behind bars for the weekend.
Hopefully for Monday, when this application is withdrawn, then we'll proceed to complete what we are doing.
I get that becomes a conditionality then, that if this application is withdrawn, yes, your client gets to go home.
Pending, that will impeach them from continuing with the negotiations. Otherwise, we need to wait, and this application is taken and the results come before we can also come in.
The motion has since been withdrawn and lawyers are scrambling to finalize paperwork. All things being equal, Wontumi walks free by close of day. If this whole Wontumi bail soap opera was a test of which aspiring NPP flagbearer has the most pull ahead of what promises to be a fierce and bitter internal contest, then surely Brian Achampon appears to have walked away with the most political capital. The battle lines have been drawn. Kweku Asante for Joy News.
Let's still stay on this developing story. This time, let's reconnect with my colleague, Michael Papani Ashali, who has the latest update on the story. Napani, if you can hear me, what can you report?
You can hear me as well, but we are coming to you live from the EOCO headquarters right here in Central Business District, where hundreds of individuals, most of which have come all the way from the Ashanti region, as early as 4 a.m. for just one reason, to see Chairman Wontumi released from the custody of EOCO. But since 11:40, when I got here and I saw lawyer Andy Apiakubi, who represents Chairman Wontumi, and Brian Achampon, who we understand guaranteed his sureties and his bail bonds, they went inside the building. We haven't seen them again ever since. It's been well over 7 hours or 8 hours after that, and they are yet to hear from them. A few minutes ago, these were agitated individuals who took over the street, some of them sitting on it, effectively drumming home their demands that they want Chairman Wontumi released today or never. So they have come here just for that reason. But even after an hour after that, many more faces have changed, right from that energetic faces. Some of them are now long faces, sad, or not knowing what exactly is going to happen. I have with me here a few of them. I asked them exactly what they are feeling and what the expectations. Is it still the same? They want Chairman Wontumi released. Basman, good evening. Thank you for joining me.
Good evening.
Still waiting for Chairman Wontumi?
Unabated. We're still waiting for him because we will not travel all the way from Kumasi to come and make sure our chairman is granted bail and he's still in the custody. But as you said, there are certain things we shouldn't play politics with these things. We've been calling that we should make sure our democracy moves. No problem. NDC is in power. When NPP was in power, issues happened. We can make mention of Opuni, Collins Dada, who is currently in parliament, and 32 MPs who collected double salaries. Not only that, we had somebody who issued 47 checks. That all went down. None of them. But we said we are not going to prosecute him. You know why? He's a businessman. We make sure he runs his business because it benefits the ordinary Ghanaian. And again, if you continue to politicize or prosecute the political class, what is going to be the benefit? But here is the case. Respectfully, as you and I are standing, what are the charges that has been leveled against Chairman Wontumi? You can help me here.
I mean, we are investigating.
Yes, so what investigate? Then why investigation can detain somebody unlawfully more than 7 days? Now, tomorrow happens to be a week. And is it fair? Is it fair, my brother? You say, if we continue on this tangent, I'm telling you, there is a saying, when the table turns, we are asking simple question. The kind of serving or the kind of table that they've served, when the table turns around, will they enjoy the same meal they are serving on the table? And we are promising them. When we came here in the morning, we heard yet order from our websites, no matter whatever being there, they should detain Chairman Wontumi so that he spends a week. No problem.
I mean, that's what you are hearing.
That is what, and my brother, you were here when Honorable Brian Achampon, as you rightly said, make sure the bonds and the sureties are available. They said they were waiting for General Secretary GFK. He's inside. The lawyers are also inside. What kind of investigation or sureties are they say after bringing the sureties they should verify? I stand to be corrected. So does it take 7 hours to verify these sureties here in Accra? And it's Honorable Brian Achampon. Is he an ordinary person? We'll keep our calm.
But almost 12 hours since you've been here.
I'm trying to be charitable because, and when we the leaders, sometimes when we talk, it incites our people, but we will not talk. I'll tell them. I always keep them saying the young ones today who are now occupying the various positions, they will suffer the consequence. Because if you read the Bible, and it's literally saying the sins of the fathers will be translated, and I promise them, let them do whatever they want to do. We always keep on telling, we will maintain our cool. And yes, we are waiting for our chairman to be released today so that we take our chairman, the stronghold region, back to Kumasi. But if they continue to do that, that's fine. But we are promising them, and we are promising them again. As you hear what all the supporters are saying, when we come to power, we just treat people with kiss gloves. This time around, My brother, when you get to the bridge, you know how to cross it.
Sure, thank you very much. Bossman, it's been 12 hours. How does it feel? You're still not seeing Chairman Wontumi?
You see, these people have decided that this is how they handle this issue. First of all, I'm Francisco Smith, from Western Region. My constituency is Selembele, but currently in Accra.
Okay.
So,
are you still going to wait till you see Chairman Wontumi?
Why not? Because if the bail conditions have been met and everything, that is what that is on the news portals. Who are here? At first you say EOCO and this, but the description that you are seeking for his property, the Alarm Commission and the rest work on Saturday and Sunday. So last week, Friday, we couldn't make it. But today is Monday, my brother. Imagine, is it what the law says? The law doesn't say that.
All right, sure. Thank you very much. So finally, yo, Obertrain until Chumotu Epiana.
Yes, because Chairman Wontumi, honestly, a Ghana name. Say Chairman Wontumi, ye whom from Sosa, common can't say, Chairman Wontumi say. Ye say the animal Mrano, but almost a Mrano 48 hours as will be them. But what them almost 7 days. 7 days, man, so yale. It's in Nippon, a year and now, Modena share more office. No, so be bit to Mrs. Mamma Yakradia. Tamawu to me, I can this is bedding. Yeah, because they are more than any Tamawu to some country, say, Tamawu to man from so say, I'm moving on court. Somebody no court, no somebody no court, Nazi who say, Tamawu to me differ. So what he's just been telling me is that, well, at least they have resolved that they are going to sleep over if Chairman Wontumi is not released anytime soon. They'll wait until that is done. He also says that, well, he doesn't think it's fair that Chairman Wontumi is being treated this way. You've heard it across board, all the people here. The resolve tonight from all these supporters, many of which from the Ashanti region, I've just heard somebody also from the Western region, that they're going to stay until their beloved Chairman Wontumi has been released by EOCO. As to whether that will happen tonight, we have no idea whether that will happen. So back to you, Carlos and Karen in the studio. We'll be monitoring the situation and bring you all the updates when they happen. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Michael, for that update. Carlos. Right, you're still watching the Joy News Prime with me, Carlos Kaloni, and Noella Karen. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. This is Joy News Prime. Well, let's shift our attention to some other stories because the Health Ministry has asked the police and national security to provide protection for nursing groups willing to work as the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association begins their nationwide strike, demanding implementation of better conditions of service. According to GRNMMA, government has reneged on its promise to implement a collective bargaining agreement signed last year. And now Adami visited some health facilities and has come through with the following report.
The nurses are demanding, among others, a 10% Medicare, a new rate for uniform allowance, payment of their 13th salary, and revised rate on call allowance. Some of the nurses who spoke to Joy News off camera at the Adabraka Hospital say they want full implementation of these agreements. At the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, lots of the nurses seen had a strip of the red fabric tied to their wrist. The principal nursing officer, Rejoice Mispa Anaman, expressed displeasure the government has implemented agreements of other health bodies, but has refused to do so for them.
What we are simply telling the government is that we are not happy about what is going on with our profession. We are not happy. We want the signed collective agreement between government and our association implemented. That is what we are asking government to do. Other bodies' agreements have been implemented and they are enjoying it. So we are also telling government to implement what is due us. So this goes to all citizens of Ghana. We are pleading with you. We know some of you are in good positions to push for government to do what is due us. So we are asking you to talk to government to implement what is due us so that we continue working.
At the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, though most of the nurses seen were not in red armed bands, some nurses who spoke off camera pledged to fully abide by every directive given by their executives.
2 years ago, our condition of service was supposed to be implemented. but for some reasons, it was held back. Though we had internal issues as well, the ministries also said there wasn't enough funds to implement it. But it's been 2 years down the line, and we see nothing going on, no changes. So we are trying to remind the government and its ministry that our condition of service needs to be implemented.
According to the association, all dialogue efforts have been exhausted, leaving them with no option but to withdraw their services through this series of actions. On Monday, it was the wearing of red bands. If this action yields no response from government, they will proceed to withdraw OPD services on Wednesday. For Joy News, I am Hannah Odame.
Now, in the Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi, Clinton Yewa report of compliance to the directive as nurses and midwives were seen in red bands by the GRNMMA is accusing the health ministry of internally sabotaging their strike.
The conditions of service was agreed to ensure the welfare of nurses and midwives. And a year after the agreement was made in 2024, implementation has seen some delays. And it is at the back of this that the association is embarking on a roadmap geared towards a strike action. Today, at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, nurses and midwives are in red banner in protest of the delays. I spoke to the first regional chairman of the association, Femonedu Brempong, however, suspects an internal sabotage of their planned strike. Do you suspect any internal sabotage?
Sure, we are seeing that. You know, the labor law permits freedom of association, and we are having about 5 splinter groups. And the ministry is relying on these people. We don't know what has transpired between them, but from where I'm sitting, I can see that some people might have taken some bribe or taken money. That's why they are sabotaging us. Because what we are fighting for all nurses and midwives in this country. So if these unions are interested in the welfare of their members, why are not joining the strike? Because what we are fighting for is rural incentive allowance. Do they have their members in the rural areas? We are talking about 5% on-call facilitation. Are they having their members who will be on call? These are things that is very, very important. The uniform allowance, they are included in this. So why are they backtracking from the strike action? If they are not taking anything from them, are they in bed with the government? These are questions that we can pose, and they have to come out and answer. Why are they against the welfare of nurses and midwives in this country? It's something that I can't understand.
Femonedu Brempong also says that the association is disappointed in how government is handling this situation. He's therefore admonishing all nurses and midwives to be totally involved in a strike action.
The ministry is not showing any good faith in addressing our issue. He is admonishing the splinter groups to embark on the strike. They are relying on them to make sure that our strike is not effective, that what we are doing is in their interest. And we want everyone to be committed, to remain resolute. They should resist any intimidation. They should reach out to their district executives, their regional executives, whenever they are having challenges. We are solidly behind them. Our team are moving around, monitoring how they are wearing the red armbands and how they are complying. We are resolute, and if government doesn't show any position, then we will withdraw our total service in the healthcare.
These are members of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital.
Meanwhile, the Public Relations Officer, PRO of the Health Ministry, Tony Goodman, says directors of the various health institutions have been directed to find alternatives in providing health care as the nurses strike. He adds the police and the national security have also been put on red alert in ensuring nurses from other groups who attend to patients do so in safe environment.
What we have done is to direct our various managers of the facilities to take some precautionary measures to save lives of our people. We've also asked ambulance service to be on standby for any eventuality. We are directing that the Ghana Police Service and National Security should provide security to those who are ready to work. The 6 groups or the 6 nursing groups we will have only one embarking on this industrial action. The other ones are ready to provide services for our people. And we want the police service to provide them with the needed protection so that they can continue to do their work.
Now, a joint investigation by Joy News and Nigeria Health Watch have uncovered how some parents are bleaching their newly born babies and children as young as 3 with toxic skin lightening creams. Now, in 2018, the Food and Drugs Authority raised a public alert over the use of cosmetic pills by some pregnant women to bleach the fetus in their womb. Kwete Nate has been investigating this worrying trend and reports how some parents are using high-risk disinfectants such as hypochlorite, bleach popularly known as parasol, to tone the skin of children in the desire to make their skin tone lighter.
She lists the many banned creams that are used in the lightening of the skin of children. She says lightening the skin of their children is considered a status symbol.
Usually, make creams ni kefio I'm a usual. Usually I'm use skin light, purple, Viva White, pure skin, gold skin, pure white gold.
Head of Cosmetics at the Food and Drugs Authority, Emmanuel Nkrumah, says hypochlorite, popularly known as parasol, is not designed to touch the skin. Using such a bleach could be extremely harmful to children.
Parasol, that's the name that's been given to it, but it's a brand. The actual name is bleach. That is hypochlorite bleach. Hypochlorite bleach is not made to touch the skin. Right? It's for floors, surfaces, to disinfect surfaces. And it's a very harmful chemical. Is even in that category, it's one of the high-risk categories in this class. And so when you use such a product on your skin, it's very dangerous.
Well, we'll bring you the full documentary in our subsequent bulletin. But before we go, it was a moment of inspiration and solemnity at the University of Gold Coast as Bishop Dr. Gideon Titiofe was officially inaugurated as the new Chancellor. The investiture ceremony brought together prominent clergy, academia, and distinguished guests, all bearing witness to a new chapter in the university's leadership. Maxwell Akolobotu has more in the following report.
University of Gold Coast Auditorium was filled with reverence as Bishop Dr. Gideon Titiofe was conferred as Chancellor in a spiritually and academically significant ceremony. Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams led the proceedings, anointed him, and prayed for wisdom, impact, and divine guidance.
The prophet Samuel anointed Saul with the horn of oil, and from that day he became another man. Today, by this prophetic act, using the horn and the oil of God, let our Chancellor become another person. Amen. Become the man that this university requires. Become the leader that this university requires and needs. As we anoint you with oil and with the horn, let the treasures of God embedded within you be activated. Amen. Let the treasures come alive in you. Let faith come alive in you. And let all that is required, resources, and all that is required be summons to come by the four wings. In the name of the Father.
Also present was Archbishop Charles Ajinasari, who delivered the keynote address. In his message, Building Great Leaders for the Nation, he urged the new Chancellor to pursue excellence, inspiring a new generation of transformational leaders.
I give a prophetic charge to the Chancellor, to Bishop Dr. Titiofe. The mantle you receive today is covenantal, not merely ceremonial. As Paul charged Timothy, I charge you Take heed unto yourself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this, you shall both save yourself and those that hear you.
In his acceptance speech, Chancellor Titi Ofe reaffirmed his commitment to steering the university into a new era of growth and innovation.
To every young man and woman hearing me, you don't need a big name to leave a big mark. You don't need to be born into privilege to walk into purpose. In the next 36 months, we are converting the Sprinters Road into a university community. As I speak to you now, we have begun the construction of the Republic Square, a twin tower of 12 floors each.
Gracing the occasion as guest of honor was former First Minister of Northern Ireland. She delivered a heartfelt charge to the youth and students present, encouraging them to embrace every opportunity with resilience and grit.
But you know, that's the point. We don't know where an opportunity will take us until we dive in and take it.
You're still watching Joy News Prime, but we need to cross over to the EOCO headquarters to my colleague Papani Ashale, because we understand that Chairman Wontumi has been released. Michael, if you can hear me, what can you report?
About 2 minutes ago, Brian Champon, the gentleman that lawyer Pierre Kubi said that guaranteed the sureties for Chairman Wontumi, just confirmed to the media that Chairman Wontumi has been free, and not just now. It says it's been some time ago. He went out through another gate here at EOCO, unknown to so many other people. So when he emerged behind the black gates that have been holding Chairman Wontumi for so many days and hours, he came out in the company of the General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Frimpong Kodia, where he told us that the gentleman, Chairman Wontumi, has now been freed and that he has been asked to go home. The exact details of all the interaction or how long it's taking actually to get Chairman Wontumi freed, we don't exactly know. They were tight-lipped about it. But as you can see in your shot, about 5-10 minutes ago, the numbers on the streets here were growing by the minute. But that is not the case anymore. As quickly as that news came, most of the people that were here have vanished into thin air. Most of which we understand are coming all the way from the Ashanti region, some of them as far as the Western region, have only come to add their voice to the growing cause for the release of Chairman Wontumi. As it stands now, we have been told that he's a free man, possibly not knowing what the next action of EOCO will be, but the security personnel that have been keeping vigilance since the time we got here are still here and will not budge. More and more of them have actually come to beef up their numbers. When some members of the NPP decided to take over the streets, sit on the street, and even go to the extent of playing local games like Ampe in the middle of the street. But all of that, I guess, for them, will say that it's paid off, because Chairman Wontumi now walks free and possibly has to face the next challenge from the EOCO, not for at least whilst in the custody of EOCO. So that is exactly what we know so far. Struggling to actually find you some people to talk to. That's exactly because these people have vanished into thin air from the streets as it stands now. So that's exactly the news, Karen, that we have from here at EOCO's headquarters right here in Accra, that Chairman Wontumi, for the very first time since last week Tuesday, can breathe a sigh of relief, at least for now, because he's no more in the custody of EOCO.
Now, Papa, did you say that Brian Champon was the one that confirmed to you that Chairman Wontumi has been released?
Brian Achampon, and then General Secretary of the party, JFK. But he spoke in Twi, and we could not hear exactly what he said. But Brian Achampon, when we spoke to him, told us that Chairman Wontumi has been a free man for minutes or even possibly an hour, and he went through another door without the knowledge of anybody. In fact, the people outside here were growing angry by the minute, who were not happy about what exactly was happening, because they had been promised that Chairman Wontumi would have been released a few minutes after 12, but that didn't happen until, I guess, a few minutes ago. So by the minute, they were not happy, took over the streets, and I'm guessing that to try to deal with that growing emotions, they had to let Chairman Wontumi nicodemously sneak out of here and also possibly get the executives to come and announce to the people. But as soon as that announcement came, the streets are now empty. Possibly journalists in a few minutes will outnumber the number of NPP supporters that are here at the EOCO office.
Thank you so much for that update. So there you have it. Breaking news coming in is that Chairman Wontumi has been released. That information was confirmed by Brian Achampon to my colleague Papani Ashali, and he's going to be at the EOCO headquarters. Obviously, in our subsequent bulletin, we'll bring you more updates should there be. But for now, the news is that Chairman Wontumi is a free man, and like I said, we'll keep our tabs on the story and bring you any other updates should there be. But Becky has joined me with showbiz.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, Noella, that we have a lot of time because
to talk about showbiz.
Chairman Wontumi has been released, and that's the breaking news coming in. Yeah. And I'm not too sure if we have time.
I don't think we. I mean, we can talk about Chairman Wontumi.
Oh,
I mean,
well, good for him. He's been released.
Okay.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Well, I just heard Papani say that. I mean, he's yet to face, the bigger issues that is happening. So, yeah, congratulations to him and the NPP for those of them who have been there since last week. Tuesday.
Yeah. It's been a
congratulations
very,
to them.
Action-packed, but it all goes down. I mean, he's been released, which is like good news
for them. Yeah. So thank you for having me briefly here on the show. I probably will come back some. Oh yeah.
So if you just joined us, well, this is still Joy News Prime. Well, we've got Brian speaking to the press. So let's take a listen.
And he's on his way home.
I mean, you had the chatter over the weekend. Some people accusing your party members of playing politics.
I'm not interested in those comments. It serves us no good.
This was just you being a good person, just trying to help.
It serves us no good. What is important is that one of us was in trouble. He was arrested. We needed, as part of the legal process, to provide surety for bail. That has been done. He's been released. We wait for the next steps. That's what it is.
Why did it take so long?
It's a process. It's a process. It is a process.
You told us they have confirmed your document. Well, so we've just heard from Brian Achampon for the very first time that, Wontumi, unknown to many, has already been released. We'll try to find JFK to find out exactly what he also said, but he's speaking to some PPs. Chairman Wontumi has been released. Well, Kese, if you come here.
All right, so you heard from Brian Achampon there. Brian Achampon is one of those individuals hoping to be a flag bearer for the NPP, and he is also one of the people that presented a surety document. We understand one of the people who added the other document is a friend of Chairman Wontumi. That was confirmed by his lawyer, Andy Apiakubi, on the probe with Carlos Kaloni last night. And so if you just joined in, well, the news coming in is that Chairman Wontumi has been released. That was confirmed by Brian Achampon. But we can now listen to the General Secretary of the NPP, JFK, that's Justin Frimpong Kodia, there.
Ne no kwase kebedu ba bia wonne. Na so dia course nyina no e kire adwempo a aban nafa. Okay. Efise kaye nduru ne. Oh yes. Sabi Chairman Wontumi ebra police for to ne nsafre no obaye. Sir. Etika EOCO for kana sabi adwemboni bi na taachire. Ana omo ka so komo to omo nsafre Chairman Wontumi akobeba. Sir, kan nyina je. Yan ka sabi o memo a obi bro emra so. Oh yes. Ye nyina ye hemra se. Sanatiye. Na so o ya de a. Sabi fa kumapa adwempa na eye. Mente. Ebra omo de Chairman Wontumi e so omo kokko mu 48 hours no. Na emra na so se e so omo jano no. Enam se na omo nyoma dun so omo jano nti omo the bail conditioner is kakese over 50 million Ghana cedis and a 23 so. Ne nyina ne se no omo se be ye den se be tima se anya bail no. Enti omo ma ne sa eda EOCO ha. Na Nyankopon enhia Dr. Brian Echampon. Godfather. And onwa edina japade esia wowa. Said there be adru no afedi eye. Etu okwatwe baby eda. Ontimi hwe se de bia party for moba ha. Na ye ko na dede ewa ha. Osisade a odina japade esia wowa. Ampa no pa EOCO for ekonifie nyina akohweye. Agitum sampa krata ni nyina no eye ne dia. Ya me nhira wo na. Ye ba ye no na kenim se ye wie. Kokwa sasa ye ba ye interrogation ye kwa basa ene se aboy samri. Na NPP party no ye catch ndisi aban. Said adan me catch am se emre wo ye ni nkaso. Oh yes. Na so ye die say ye mra pa na NDC aban pese ani ye camera ani omu share your court. Sana tie. Enya EOCO ha. Yes. Ti ye hwe se omu se wontumi a bibia ye fa nkọ court. Na NPP ye be kire se ye lawyer for pa o mamu ha. Ye be kire se ye nkọkọ bo ni. Me my kasa nwa momododo na ma be gina afia no pa. Oh yes. Me no kasa Chairman Wontumi wo free ha wo kọ. Oni EOCO ha. Okwa so kofi akoji na home. Enti bibia so wo bia no ye be ma maswati. Ye mbom ye mbon nsem ma Dr. Brian Echampon power
All right, so you heard there JFK, who's the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, addressing the media and some supporters of the party there at the EOCO headquarters. The news is that the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the opposition New Patriotic Party, Bernard Inchibosiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has been released from the custody of the Economic and Organized Crime Office after successfully meeting his bail conditions. And the General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Kodia, confirmed his release this evening, Monday, June 2nd, in an interview with the media. He commended the NPP's Dr. Brian Echampon, who provided one of the sureties for Chairman Wontumi's release. And you may know that Chairman Wontumi was granted bail to the tune of 50 Ghana cedis, 50 million, I beg your pardon, 50 million Ghana cedis, with two sureties to be justified following his arrest on Tuesday, May 27, in connection with an ongoing investigation into alleged fraud, money laundering, and causing financial loss to the state. Now, his release follows also a period of intense legal maneuvering and political pressure. Initially, his legal team struggled to meet the hefty bail terms, leading to days in detention. However, his lead counsel, Andy Appiah, could be confirmed on Friday, May 30, that the necessary documentation for both sureties had been completed, significantly aided by former Minister for Food and Agriculture, Brian Echampon, whose document reportedly, in his words, go over and above the value of money that is required. Now, despite meeting, that bail condition, they had to also confirm or verify those landed properties. And Wontumi has finally been released. And so that's the news coming in. Right now, we are still going to keep our tabs on this developing story, and in our subsequent bulletins, bring you more information. This is Joy News Prime. And I guess that's, unfortunately, we couldn't bring you entertainment, but Becky is here looking all beautiful. I'm sorry, we had to take
That's okay. I'm okay. I mean, it's breaking news and it's on Joy News right here. Right. You can only hear it here first.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's what we're doing here.
Absolutely.
But what do you think of the whole,
I think it's great. I mean, whatever it is, we're going to continue and bring more, more information. Right. But that's how we wrap up on Joy News Prime here. Maybe I should let Becky, she does it better. Becky, wrap up for us.
You kidding me? You just finished a breaking news.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Well,
Becky, wrap up.
Stay on the Joy News channel. We'll be following the story about Wontumi's release. In subsequent bulletins, we'll bring you everything that you need to know up to speed right here on the Joy News channel. I guess the business, Pius Kojobaka will be here with business.
And sports as well.
Right. Thank you so much.
Remember, you're still watching Joy News Prime, and of course, this is the business segment. But we've got to break in and bring you the story we are following up for you following the release of Embattled Chairman of the NPP of the Ashanti Region, Chairman Wontumi. Thankfully, we have his lawyer on the telephone lines to tell us what he makes of this release. Mr. Apiakubi, thank you so much for joining us here on Joy News Prime. First off, congratulations, I guess, is in order. What do you make of the release?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
And I'm saying congratulations to you following the release of your client. Yes. You must be a happy man now.
Yes, I'm very happy.
All right, so tell us the processes that, of course, led to the release of Chairman Wontumi.
There was an application for bail which was granted, and then we have been able to meet the bail conditions, and Chairman Wontumi has been released on bail now.
So you can confirm to us Chairman Wontumi is indeed out of the premises of EOCO?
Yes, Chairman Wontumi is right here, and he has been released from EOCO.
Where is he now? Mr. Piakubi, where is Chairman Wontumi as to speak now? Certainly, you can hear the jubilation at the premises of EOCO following the release of Chairman Wontumi. And we have on the telephone lines his lawyer, Mr. Apiakubi, joining us via the telephone lines to tell us what more he makes of this developing story. Mr. Apiakubi, earlier I was asking where Mr. Chairman Wontumi is. All right, so you can hear the jubilation out there. It's all happiness and joy at the premises of EOCO following news of release of Chairman Wontumi.
So there's so much noise there. So it's difficult for me.
Yeah, so if you can reposition yourself so we have a fruitful conversation. Indeed, it is exciting to know that your client has been released. So tell us, I'm asking the whereabouts of Chairman Wontumi as we speak.
Chairman Wontumi is right here with me. You can hear the noise. The people, they won't let him go. So he's here. And
what has he been saying to the party supporters there?
Yeah, he's addressing them. So me, I've finished my job. I need to find something to eat.
All right, so we shall of course try as much as we can to.
We'll grant you full interview probably tomorrow, so don't let me go. So.
All right, thank you so much for agreeing to speak to us and letting us know your excitement about, the release of Chairman Wontumi. And of course, this is Joy News. We shall be bringing you all the happenings in relation to this very subject matter we are following up keenly for you.